So about 10 months ago, I found myself in Mexico with a parasite and a bleeding colon, unable to keep food or water down. And so as I was going through that, I realized that I had a lot that I needed to release. And I got to really practice what I preach. I got to ask myself, what is it within me? I had been traveling the world, teaching at events, growing the business, and friends scattered all over the planet, but no real sense of belonging and home and like, where are my roots?
A reminder to me that community is truly a medicine. I really believe people need to make money doing what they love to do, because if you're not making money at it, you burn out or you can't serve the people. Imagine trying to do tapping and no one ever paid you ever, but you felt it was your passion. Like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, you need to have a sustainable life as well. We're all human, we're all making mistakes all the time, but the forgiveness work allows us to clear them out, integrate the wisdom and keep going.
The world does not give us what we want, or the universe doesn't give us what we want, it gives us who we are. And who we are, if we're coming in this world and being like, I am confident and I'm a joyous person, that's what it's gonna give us. Being like, I'm the victim, everything always goes wrong with me, it just attracts more of that, right?
Exactly. And it'll keep attracting it until we shift it.
Welcome everyone to The Connection. I'm your host, Joe Che. My joy in life is to encourage people to take brave steps to their alignment in their careers, in their communication, and in their connection to themselves and their community. I'm here with Jennifer Partridge, world-renowned EFT tapping expert. You are a Mindvalley author. You are a coach, transformational coach. You shared the stage with people like Deepak Chopra, Miguel Ruiz. These are huge authors. We shared a stage together a couple weeks ago, which was really inspiring at the I Am Creation Summit. So beautiful to feel your energy. And we got to sit over breakfast one day. The world brought us together. And it's like, this is an amazing woman. A lot of overlap in our friend group. So welcome, Jennifer. It's great to have you.
Joe, yay!
Yes. Okay, this is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, celebrating this moment together, celebrating the synchronicities that brought this moment together and the connection that it's creating. And then the connection with everyone that's watching.
Yeah, so happy you guys are with us.
Yes.
So Jennifer, I would love to hear, you've been doing EFT tapping for 15 plus years. You have all these courses out in the world. You have books on it. You have a journal on Amazon for tapping. This has been part of who you are. You built a business around this that's gotten very big, and then you got to tweak it to scale it back to have more freedom. And recently you went through a bit of a difficult journey that really sounds like maybe challenged everything that you've learned up to this point. I'd love to start with that sort of journey that you were sharing earlier of really some severe sickness.
Yeah. There's a time when you are the teacher and you become the student again.
God. Always the case.
Yeah, exactly. It's deeply humbling as well. So about 10 months ago from today, I found myself in Mexico with a parasite and a bleeding colon and unable to keep food or water down. And it was really intense. And I thought that I would be stuck in Mexico. But while in the middle of this, I think day 10 of not being able to eat any food, I got a phone call from my sister, and she's on the phone saying, my dad is in hospital and he might not survive and you need to come home. And so, I mean, you just can't write these stories any better. So I hop on a plane, 2 planes, 40 hours of travel, just trying to get back to see him. They've got wheelchairs taking me between flights. I am out of it. I get home and my dad is in ICU, and I get into the hospital the next day and all he can do is move his eyebrows. And it's the worst thing that every child never wants to see, right? Or even get that phone call. And there I was in that moment. And I just started puking my guts up. Like, I ran to the toilet in his hospital and I just couldn't keep anything down, which then landed me in hospital the same time he was in hospital.
Yeah.
So we had such a divine alignment between me and him, and so much synchronicity in our healing paths. He brought me back to Australia because he was sick. And then what it ended up becoming was both of us healing together. And it's absolutely crazy because the week before I got sick, I was meditating with my friend and something dropped into my meditation. And spirit told me that myself and my father are going through a massive book change. It's almost like we were both closing books in our lives and a new book was about to open. And this was before I knew any of this was going to happen. And then the following 7 months after that, he started to get his life back. I started to get my life back. But it was one of the hardest things that I've ever been through in my life, probably the hardest, to go through a chronic illness. So it started with the bleeding in the colon and everything. But then after 20 days of no food, not being able to keep water down, it led to edema flooding through my body, like just puffiness all over my legs, my feet, my shoulders, my arms, my face, my vagina, everything got swollen. And sorry for the graphic image there.
We're here to be real.
Yeah, exactly. And so as I was going through that, I realized that I had a lot that I needed to release. And I got to really practice what I preach. And I got to ask myself, what is it within me that's creating this? What is it within me that has been avoiding some kind of inner work?
Mhm.
And I had a lot of pain that I was still carrying from some relationship experiences that was like hurting me inside. And I was carrying it and I hadn't taken time to sit with some of that stuff. And it was all literally purging out of my physical body. And a lot of the stuff that it was revealing was a deep desire for belonging.
Mhm.
And I had left a 10-year relationship many years before, 3 or 4 years before. And I had been like traveling the world, teaching at events, growing the business, and friends scattered all over the planet, but no real sense of belonging and home and like, where are my roots? And there was some deep yearning for that. And so it was just so amazing that the universe conspired to actually bring me back to my roots of where it all began, back to my blood family, because I hadn't been with them for 25 years. And so there I was in my hometown where I grew up in with my father, both healing. He got his energy back. I healed. The belonging is really what healed it. And so on a soul level, it just reminded me that, we have these physical symptoms, these things happen inside of our life physically, but there's always a soul connection to it. There's an emotional connection to it. And when we're faced with these, there's a timeline shift that's being called in. And so I got to go through a really deep schooling in that. And I only just really come out of it like 3 months ago.
And do you think that actually these physical manifestations were just a desire for like a missing of a belonging? Because that I mean, so many people go through that, right? Like
Yeah.
this feeling of like not feeling like they belong. They don't have community. They don't have support of
Yeah.
close friends or family. They're hustling. They're doing their thing.
Yeah.
You think that's what came
Yeah.
out of it?
Yeah. And I think you can even be surrounded by a lot of people. I'm at Mindvalley and there's thousands of people there and sharing your work. But I needed to be held. And also coming out of a long-term relationship where just some of the physiological benefits of being in partnership, where you're being held, there's touch, there's connection, like some of these very simple things. And I was getting them in bursts wherever I was going, but there was something deeper. And then there was some feelings of like betrayal and hurt that was also in my system as well, and really wanting to know where I belong that was related to that. And so when I was started to get that from my family, when I returned home, my body was coming back to life. And I later learned when I was in the hospital and I was in intensive care unit with my father, there were other people that were in ICU as well with no visitors. And I learned that the people that usually die first are the ones that have no visitors.
Yeah.
And so like this sense of connection, caring, belonging. My dad also told me, like, he was on the brink, and he told me when he came back out of it, I was like, what was it that like brought you back to life? And he said, every time like I would come back to consciousness, your mother was there holding my hand.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Like wow, what a warrior woman. Her daughter's in hospital nearly dying. Her husband is in hospital nearly dying. And I'm impressed by that woman, so much depth and capacity that she had to show up for. And I know that that's what also saved my dad as well.
Community is medicine.
Yeah.
Belonging is medicine. And we can actually see that in data, especially if we look at the blue zones. For those that don't know, this is places in the world that people live consistently over 100 years old.
Wow.
And there's this Okinawa, Japan, Loma Linda, California, Ikaria, Greece, Nosara, Costa Rica, and there's a couple more. And when they're studying these places, they're looking for diet. They're looking for overlaps in diet. And there isn't much of anything. But what is so clear to me is these people are in community. They have a purpose. They're 100 years old. And when someone relies on you, you stick around.
Yeah.
When you have no purpose, you're in these old folks' home and nobody's coming to visit you. Well, what's your purpose? You don't have one. And in these communities, like, it's multi-generational. They're helping either with finances, they get in these small groups, they're talking. It's like there's elders are passing wisdom down.
Yeah.
And it's very simple, but it's such a reminder to me that, like, community is truly a medicine, not in a psychological way, but actually in the physical way. And it sounds like you really experienced that.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. I actually was reading the book Ikigai. Do you know that book? And
I've been teaching a lot.
oh, okay, amazing. That was one of the books that I read while I was healing as well, and really learning about the power of that kind of connection and the multi-generational connection as well. And having a purpose is part of that too, like something that you have to give, something that wakes you up in the morning, and all of these pieces that make a happy life. Not necessarily what we might say in the West, a successful life, which I think for many years I got lost in as well, like just more success, grow the thing, and then I got to reassess that as well. Like, what is it that really makes me happy? Because we can have all of the outward success, we can have the money, we could have the houses, and a lot of people that I know that are having all of that, and I've also been in all of that as well. There's an emptiness because there's the hungry ghost, just, oh, when I have. And sometimes true happiness is just the simplicity of coming back to having that container of family, of community, of having something that you get to share with the world that satisfies you. And it doesn't have to be these big, grandiose things.
For me, I just love sitting with my Maine Coon, cuddling up with her. And sometimes that's like the biggest joy.
Yeah.
Where before, with having such severe neurodivergence and ADHD and a little bit on the Asperger spectrum, I needed so much stimulation in my life, and I'm trying to learn how to have less. And I think going back, the community is part of it, but underneath that is the purpose within the community. And you mentioned you're reading the Ikigai book. I was teaching that around the world for years,
Nice.
and I actually realized it's actually a crappy framework, honestly. And the reason is it only asks 4 questions. It's not that it's a crappy framework. It's a great idea. For those that don't know, it's a Japanese concept for your reason for being, which I translate kind of like soul purpose.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, when I was teaching it, people weren't making any real shifts because it didn't give them enough of the right questions.
Nice.
I have one called Icky Girl, actually. I don't know if I told you about this.
No.
I have and it's an upgraded version of the Ikigai, which has 13 questions, and I have a 100% success rate with it. When you ask these questions and you get it back, like, because I really believe people need to make money doing what they love to do. Because if you're not making money at it, you burn out or you can't serve the people.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to do tapping and no one ever paid you ever, but you
Yeah.
felt it was your passion. Like it just doesn't work.
Yeah, you need to have a sustainable life as well. Yeah. Otherwise, that becomes a pressure. And I think a lot of the time when I'm training coaches as well, there is these beliefs that are really hidden in the subconscious, especially in the healers and the coaches of making money is
Yeah.
unspiritual and
Yeah.
having these beliefs around their service that actually limit the amount of volume of abundance that they can actually allow into their life and helping people repivot that. Like the more abundance that I'm able to receive, the more I'm able to give, the more I'm able to share, the more I'm able to touch more lives. And just having that gentle shift can really help.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
I'm doing mentorships, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Blocks around money. And I have these
Yeah.
myself. I've had them in the past. I always have to work through them. It's like
Yeah.
that if I give my gift and someone pays me for it, then somehow it like diminishes the
Mm.
value of the gift because it's like, I love you. I want you to have the thing or be fully expressed or release your trauma. So but if you pay me for it, somehow it's like it takes the thing
Yeah.
off, you know? So,
I've actually got a really good mindset shift for that.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
can we do it?
Well, it's just a way to flip your thinking around the money piece and charging your worth. And sometimes there's a belief that says, what if they can't pay? I don't want to take from them. Like, I don't want to. And then also higher charges and charging higher ticket items. Some people feel weird around that part of sales. And so, one thing I really love to shift is by you not calling them forth into that higher price, into that higher ticket item, sometimes we're projecting onto them, oh, you can't afford it, you won't be able to afford it.
Mm.
And you're putting an energetic imprint on that person, which if they are not fully clear, they'll pick that up and start believing themselves that they can't afford it or that it would be too hard. But when you actually just shift it and you see that you are an abundant creature, you are an abundant being, and you're worthy of this and you can afford this,
Yeah.
you draw out their higher capacity to actually step into that new level of prosperity themselves. And
Mhm.
if we're coaches, we need to inspire and not think lower of the people that we're coaching. We need to see them in what's possible. Every single person wants to have more prosperity. So why would we project onto them, oh, they might not be able to, oh, now I'm more awkward in asking, but actually just see them in their prosperous
Yeah.
self and then call that forth as well.
Yeah, I noticed that. I even do that. I'd be like, man, I love you. You really need this process. Like
Yeah.
I had this thing that I developed and I sell it and I know you need it and you know you need it. And I catch myself saying things like, listen, this will be perfect for you. I know this will work. And if you can't afford it, just let me know what you can do.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, you're giving them the opportunity
Yeah.
to play into a lower self.
Yeah.
And actually, that's not supportive to their
Yeah.
frequency.
Yeah.
Like a real good coach isn't going to invite you into that next level, invite you into what's possible. And there might be an edge there, right? To like, oh, can I really do that? But that's what we want, whether it's money, whether it's your mission, whether you're coaching them with sexuality, whatever it is, right? We want to go through that
Yeah.
little bit of a tension, like, oh, can I really meet that? Can I really step into that? Because that's going to give the power to expand versus, oh, yeah, I can't really. And then you're going down. The spiral goes down versus spiral goes up.
Jennifer, sometimes we actually project on someone that we're working with that we want to help and call into a higher alignment in abundance. But sometimes we were speaking earlier that we can actually project on them and put an energy that pulls them down. What can we do when we're talking about money and charging money for things?
Mm-hmm. What you want to do is you want to ask yourself, am I spiraling the energy up or am I spiraling the energy down
Yeah.
when I'm in sales? And so the spiraling down is a projection onto the person that maybe they can't afford it.
Yeah.
And that brings the energy down. It's actually a disempowering energy that you're putting on them. When you're spiraling the energy up, you're actually seeing them for what they can do, what they are valuable for, what they can achieve. And that is the same coaching process that you go through with anything you're going to have with that client. You always want to see their highest expression. And that's why when you are inviting them into a package, you want to spiral the energy up. What's possible for you? Let's lean into that
Yeah.
and challenge them to open into that as well.
Beautiful. Has that been something that you've had to learn over the years?
Oh my gosh, when I first started coaching, I had so many insecurities around selling, and I wouldn't sell and I didn't want to sell. And then it was awkward. Like I would do these events, and at the end, it was always, okay, at the end of the event, let's upsell people into a program. And I would just be so clumsy
Mm.
with what I was saying. Felt awkward around it. I had to do a lot of work on my nervous system around money, around my worth, around my value. And then from that, I really stepped into knowing that this is service. It's not about me.
Mhm.
And when I did that cleanup and I stepped into it really being service, all of that stuff shifted because it's actually, I'm saying it for them. I'm not saying it for me. I'm saying it so it can help their life. And I believe in it. And it's not sleazy anymore. It doesn't have any shadow in it because it's coming from real deep belief of that person and what's possible for them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Seeing them in their highest self.
Yeah, exactly. And inviting them into that. And when you're doing a discovery call or you're inviting someone into something, that is a coaching container in itself. And you're getting to see how they show up with that kind of coaching that you're bringing. And for me, these are the kinds of clients that I want who want to step in as well and who want to spiral up together.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I love to kind of bring us back to your area of expertise, EFT tapping, which I believe stands for Emotional Freedom Technique.
Yeah.
How long ago did this start? And what is this? Give the viewers, if they're not familiar, what does this mean? What's the history behind it?
Yeah. So Gary Craig originated the method. It's a pretty new method. I would say it probably goes back maybe 30 or so years. And it came out of thought field therapy. There were kinesiology. There were many things that he kind of brought into the original method, muscle testing. And basically, in the early days, what he was doing, he was working with the meridian system, so the energetic body, and clearing out blockages in the energetic body. So in Chinese medicine, when you have a block, emotional, mental, physical block, these meridians, these energy lines on the body, create stagnation. And so in acupuncture, for example, you'll place a needle on a specific meridian, it clears out the stagnation, the life force, the prana can then flow through the body more clearly, and then your body is healthy. So he took that, and then instead of putting needles, you're tapping on some of these points. And then he brings in modern psychology. And so modern psychology, if you've ever been to a therapist or a coach, you sit there, you're talking about your emotions, what came up for you, what your memories are, what your trauma patterns are, what happened with your parents. And so you're starting to talk about all of this stuff in your subconscious. And so these two modalities kind of started to blend together. And then he says, okay, let's draw that emotion to the surface through all the talk therapy. While it's on the surface, let's move it out of the energy body. So instead of going to a coach where you just like rehash the same story over and over, and sometimes you get some mental shifts, he's like, okay, let's clear it somatically. And that's why this method is so powerful, because it's not just a mental shift, it's a physiological shift as well. And so he's blending the Chinese medicine, he's blending modern psychology, and now there's a lot of science around it as well. So there's studies that show this particular method helps rewire the brain, it helps repattern the emotional system, works with things like PTSD, trauma healing, high performance. You can use it on pretty much anything that you might have an emotional charge around. And now the work has continued to expand. And so it's changed. And depending on what teacher you work with, sometimes you'll tap more points on the body, sometimes less. For me, I developed my own style now called Dream Awake tapping. And so I blend NLP into mine. I blend in breath work. I blend in somatic movement, because I've studied other modalities and I see how they complement. And so now I have my own style of tapping that I teach.
Amazing. So when would we use this? When would someone use this?
Yeah, so if you feel triggered by something, that is the perfect time to tap.
Okay, great. Want to try to trigger me?
Yeah, yeah, okay.
It's gonna be
What's
hard.
your really?
I don't get
Okay.
triggered very easily.
That's nice. That means that you've done a lot of emotional cleanup or you're really good at being numb.
Um, or the neurodivergence and a little of the Asperger's
Yeah,
might be
okay.
there too.
So leaving your body disassociation?
No, it's not a disassociation.
Okay.
It's just not wired for high emotional states. So in general,
Wow,
it's
okay.
hard for me to feel hard emotional states. Like excitement is not an emotion I can really have access to very
Wow.
easily. It doesn't mean I can like think I can know that I'm excited, like, oh, Jennifer's coming. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But the emotional state of like, oh my God, Jennifer's coming. I fucking love her.
Oh,
Like,
wow. So you're a little bit more like a Buddha then.
I don't know. I would not call myself anywhere near a Buddha, but but there's upsides and downsides to that. The
Yeah.
upside is, you can put me in chaos. Someone just fell. I remember someone fell next to me and their bone shot out their side of their leg, and I'm cool and I'm grounded and I can like keep things together. But it also means that I miss out on some like,
You don't have a PTSD response after that? Like, whoa, that was a really shocking moment. Now I've got to process it. Like in the moment.
not really. There's a little
Wow.
adrenaline, but like in those scenarios when it's like a survival scenario. But no, I've noticed that. And it's so funny because I've had women over in my life like really shame me for that. And tantra
Mm.
teachers shame me for that, being like, you're not connected to your body enough. And it's like, no, I actually am. I'm not really wired that
Yeah,
way.
beautiful.
And
Great.
and I've had to like come to self-love and be like, I'm not broken. This is just who I am.
Thank
So
you.
so you can back off and stop trying to fix me.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
appreciate that because not everyone is wired the same
no,
way. And this whole what is normal, there is no normal. So it's
yeah.
just working with where you're at and what you've
Yeah.
got. And that sounds beautiful.
And
You're in
loving yourself
equilibrium,
for
loving
where you
yourself.
are. But long story short, it's going to be hard to trigger me. I do get triggered every once in a while. Trying to think the last time.
Okay. If we're going to do a tap, I could
Okay.
ask you something to help discover what it is that you might feel blocked by. You might not feel
Okay.
triggered, but
But
there might
blocked.
be a block that's blocking the next level in your evolution. This is when tapping goes into high performance, right?
Okay.
So maybe you're not clearing out trauma, but there might be some mental blocks, emotional blocks, cultural blocks, societal things you've picked up that are stopping you from your next level
Mm,
of evolution. Like, do you want to have deeper intimacy with your partner and you're feeling blocked by it? Do you want to take another step in your career? And where is that crunchy piece where you're not sure if you can do it yet,
mm,
right? Like, what is the next level for you?
mhm. Okay. I mean, I can try to make it practical
Yeah,
and let's do it for me. And
we'll
I
do
would
it for
also, yeah,
everyone.
let's try to do
Yeah,
it for
yeah,
everyone. So
exactly.
what is the question that they can ask themselves? And I'll ask myself the same
Okay, all
question.
right. So would you like me to guide you through a
Yeah.
process
Do you
with?
guys want to do this together? Let's do it. Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Yeah. Okay,
learn.
awesome. So I'm going to take you into visualizing what it is you want to create in your life. What's the
Mm,
next big step in your life? And then we're going to do a tap to clear the block that's holding you back from that being in expression.
yeah.
Because it would be an expression if the block wasn't there, because it's what your soul is calling in, right? So we're going to get clear on that and then we'll tap. All right, so let's all just take a moment. Place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, and then just feel yourself relax right now, right here, right now. Feel all of the energy from the outside world just coming back into your body, everything returning right here. And taking some long, slow, deep breaths. And then on the exhale, just through the mouth, making a little sound.
Ah,
Once more, inhale. Exhale with a sigh. Beautiful. And as you feel into this space right now, connected to your body, connected to your life, if there was one area in your life right now that you could just shine some magic into, to grow and evolve in, to step into the next chapter, to step into the next incarnation, to heighten a new level of manifestation in this area, what would that area be?
I think it's noticing this feeling of a fear that if I play bigger, become more successful, that it's going to somehow take away my freedom. That I'm going to have less time or less time to do the things I really love and going to be busier and have more responsibility.
Mm. I love that you
Yeah.
shared that. I can relate to that.
Yeah. And I'm feeling that spent so long getting out of the rat race of New York and the success of New York and grounding and taking care of my body and health here in Bali. And I'm afraid it's like I'm noticing I'm blocking myself in certain areas to get bigger, to have a bigger voice because yeah, I think I value my freedom so much.
Mhm.
I don't want to lose it. I'm doing well with my health and I know I can get sucked back in really easy. So there's a fear of that.
Okay, beautiful. So we have an option with this particular tap. I can take you through it word by word, or if we want the audience to also be voicing it, I can say it out loud and you can say it in your head so that the audience doesn't get moved by what you're sharing. So how would you like to do it? You and me or
You choose.
us and the audience?
Let's do it together.
Okay, all right, beautiful. So let's massage underneath the collarbone here. And I want you just to feel into this block that's there. And I want you to feel what that feels like. I don't want too much because I might end up in that same position I was in New York and it'll be overwhelming and feel into all of that right now. And then repeating out loud after me, even though I'm afraid of going bigger.
Even though I'm afraid of going bigger,
It's safe to look at this.
safe to look at this.
Even though I'm afraid of what bigger means,
Even though I'm afraid of what bigger means,
I'm in a safe place to look at this.
in a safe place to look at this.
Tap the center of the chest. I'm safe right here.
I am safe right here.
I am safe right here.
I am safe right here.
It is safe right here.
It is safe right here.
I am safe right here.
I am safe right here.
Even though part of me's scared.
Even though that part of me is scared,
And what are you scared of happening?
scared of losing my freedom.
And just feel what that fear feels like in your body right now. Scared of losing your freedom. Feel that in your body. Where is it in your body?
Hmm. It's in my traps.
Okay. It's in my traps.
Yeah. Feel like a tightness here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so tap on the front of the ribs, actually. I feel a tightness in my traps.
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 This fear of losing my freedom.
This fear of losing my freedom.
There's tightness in my traps.
This tightness in my traps.
And what does that texture feel like?
Feels tight.
It feels tight. And feel that tightness right now. Just give yourself permission to feel the tightness. And if you're doing this at home, you might start yawning, burping, crying, hiccuping. Some of these things move through the system. Just let it hang out if it does. This tightness in my traps.
This tightness in my traps.
This fear of losing my freedom.
This fear of losing my freedom.
Fear of losing my freedom.
This fear of losing my freedom.
I'm really scared of losing my freedom.
Scared to lose my freedom.
I don't want to lose my freedom.
I don't want to lose my freedom.
I've done a lot to gain this freedom.
Did a lot to gain this freedom.
And I don't want to lose it.
I don't want to lose it.
Big, deep breath, big sigh. Tap the side of the ribs. And it's understandable. I've been playing smaller.
Been playing smaller.
I've been shrinking.
Been shrinking and putting things off.
I've been shrinking and putting things off.
Been shrinking and putting things off.
I think I need to shrink and put things off
Think I need to shrink to put things off
so that I have my freedom.
so that I have my freedom.
I've been shrinking and putting things off
I've been shrinking and putting things off
so that I can have my freedom.
so I can have my freedom.
Big, deep breath, big sigh. Tap the top of the head. But part of me wants to share more.
But all of me wants to share more.
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 I want to share more.
I want to share more.
I do 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 want to share more.
Big, deep breath, big sigh. Tapping between the brows. It's possible
Possible
that maybe
that maybe
I can share more
I can share more
and have freedom.
and have freedom.
Tapping the temples. It's possible
Possible
that I can share more
that I can share more
and have more freedom.
and have more freedom.
It's possible
Possible
that I can share more
that I can share more
and have even more freedom.
and have even more freedom.
Doing what I absolutely love
Doing what I love
makes me feel free.
makes me feel free.
Sharing what I absolutely love
Sharing what I absolutely love
makes me feel free.
makes me feel free and powerful and useful.
Makes me feel free, powerful, and useful.
Yes. Make me feel free, powerful, and useful.
Tapping the cheeks. It's possible I can share more
Possible I can share more
and feel free,
and feel free,
powerful,
powerful,
and useful.
and useful.
It's possible I can share more
Possible I can share more
and feel free,
and feel free,
powerful,
powerful,
and useful.
and useful.
And I can do this.
And I can do this.
And it's inside of me.
It's inside of me.
It's right here,
It's right here,
right now.
right now.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Hallelujah.
It has happened.
It has happened.
Yeah.
Big deep breath. Tap underneath the nose. I can do this.
I can do this.
And it can be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Tapping underneath the lips. I can have a lot of fun in this.
I am having a lot of fun in this.
I'm having a lot of fun in this.
I am having a lot of fun in this.
My life has just shifted.
My life has just shifted.
And I am free
I am free
and sharing more
and sharing more
and expanding more.
and expanding more.
And I'm more free than I've ever been before.
And I'm more free than I've ever been before. Whoa.
Tapping the center of the chest. Okay, I want you just now to imagine what that looks like when you're more free than you've ever been before, while also sharing more than you've ever shared before. And feel the freedom, the joy, the power that's in all of that expanse.
Mm.
And feel what that feels like in your body.
Yeah.
And describe what that feels like.
Yeah, I just feel more time, more space with more resources to be creating community in this beautiful house that's community space with the animals running around and the sugar gliders and the owls in the backyard and helping the environment and having space to build that home for PKP and the women I've been supporting, and I've been in those terrible situations, if they can finally just get that land and feel safety in their bodies. I have more to give. I have more time to spend with my beloved, my loved ones, and my close friends, and I can fly them places for week-long retreats that they don't have to pay for. They can just be there in just freedom and expansiveness and beautiful places, with waterfalls and sunshine, laughter, just co-creation.
What a beautiful, powerful vision. Take a big, deep breath into it. Fill your whole system up with it. Exhale, big sigh, big sound. All right, once more, we're going to stick our tongue out. Breathe it all in. Fill your whole system up with it. And then let it out. And then just rest one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. And just feel that expanding in your life now. Feel how effortless and easeful it is, because it is who you truly are. You have heard the call of your soul. Feel the play, the fun, the magic, the freedom, the power, the overflow happening in your life right now. Like, hallelujah, I said yes. Feel this new timeline as you step into this timeline right now. A new timeline of energy, a new timeline of frequency guiding the path now. In so much gratitude, feeling this, lifting it up. Inhale. Hold the breath for a moment. And then on the exhale, you're going to just land as if you're landing your feet into this new timeline. You're stepping in the resonance of the field is now circulating through your whole system, exhaling slowly. And when you open your eyes to this new timeline. Here we are.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Hi, welcome to this new energy.
Super cool. I want to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
I was noticing that you kind of were guiding me to be like, where are you now? And saying that, and then slowly shifting the mindset to where you wanted to be.
Yeah.
Is that part of the process?
That's exactly the process,
Yeah.
because a lot of the time we want something, but we're not willing to acknowledge where we're at. When we acknowledge where we're at and we bring it presence, we don't resist it, we don't hide from it, we don't label it as wrong. Like, this is where I'm at. Presence heals it. When the presence is met with it, then there's space. Now you can start creating and shaping. And so that's the start of the journey, to like bring presence to what is, to hold it in that love so that it can melt and open up the field. And then you got space to play then, which is beautiful.
Also noticing there's in similar or in other modalities and techniques, it's all about shifting your energetics and your frequency of vibration of your emotional state.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who are not familiar, there is basically a scale of emotional state frequencies. And one of the rules of those is you can't jump too far. You kind of have to climb the ladder up or climb the ladder down. It's very hard to go from one to another, or maybe not even possible. So it felt like that's also another thing that I felt that was going on, or I noticed you potentially doing, was like increasing the vibrational state of my emotions to get into that. And then we end with like the
Okay, I want to share about this, please. I love that you touched on it, because this is what makes this work different than, say, an ayahuasca experience.
Okay.
So like when you're doing medicine work, a lot of the time you can jump frequencies and you can go into these higher states. You get the vision, you get the download, but the integration didn't happen because you skipped steps. You're still doing similar work. You do intergenerational trauma healing in those ceremonies. You're healing so much stuff, but a lot of the time you jump steps. And so the integration is a little bit harder. With something like this, you don't need to take any medicine. You're doing the deep work, but you're moving through each step. So as you integrate each step, it becomes embodied.
Mm.
And that's why I love this work. And it's really accessible for anyone, any religion, any cultural conditioning. It's like, it's so safe to approach.
It's also, I mean, this is the healing, traumatic healing work also, right? It
Yeah,
can be used for that also.
exactly. Yeah.
Is this something that someone can do on themselves, or they kind of need someone to guide it through it?
You can do it on yourself, definitely. You obviously not need to know how to do it, but then you can do it. It's very
But
easy.
Jennifer has a
Yeah.
250-hour program to learn it yourself.
You can go to my YouTube channel. We have a bunch of free taps on there as well.
Awesome.
But we also teach you how to tap for yourself too.
Yeah.
There is a very simple formula. If you just want to do the very basic, it's basically you tap on your chest, you acknowledge what you feel, you breathe through it, and then you give it love and compassion, and then you offer yourself a new vision. These are the
Okay.
3 basic steps that you're doing in a tapping session. Obviously, you can go so much deeper, but even though I feel this, I love and accept myself. This is what I'm ready for. It's like those 3 steps that you're going through continually in a tapping session.
Let's say that again. Let's start with these are the 3
Yeah.
steps. So editors will cut
Yeah.
what I just said out, but so it's like, here's the 3 steps for
Yeah.
this. Okay, let's come back in.
Here are the 3 steps that you can use in a tapping session to shift any problem. Acknowledge the issue, even though I feel this. Give it love and acceptance. I love and accept myself. Offer a new vision.
Mhm.
I'm ready to experience.
Okay.
So those are the 3 steps. Acknowledge,
Acknowledge,
love and acceptance, the new vision.
acknowledge, love and acceptance, the new vision. And are we tapping in a specific place?
You could start just by doing that on your chest.
Okay.
As someone that's just beginning, you can just start with, even though I feel this way, I love and accept myself.
Yeah.
And if you give enough love and acceptance to any challenge, it will melt away. And then the new possibility, the new vision will be so much easier to integrate into your life.
Mm.
So give enough love and compassion there.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a trick in so many parts of our lives, whether you're doing tapping or not,
Yeah.
right? Like sometimes we have something that we don't like about ourselves that we know needs work. And the reason why we're not shifting it is because we give it so much shame, and the energy we're giving that thing about ourselves is so it's like, how do I come in? And that's been a really hard lesson for me, this having loving compassion to self.
Yeah.
Because, for me, I want to be in full integrity, and I want to do everything right. And my communication, always get it right and treat
Okay.
people with kindness all the time. And it's like, and if I don't, I'm just like, oh man, I screwed that up. And it's like,
Oh.
and just learning, just to be like, you know what? You do great most of the time. And yeah, maybe you could have done that better. And I love you so much for it. And,
Yeah.
you
And that's
know,
where the forgiveness work is so important.
Yeah.
Even if it's a little misnomer or something big that you've done, all of it is worthy of forgiveness, no matter what you have done, because it happened as a part of your growth journey. And we're all human, we're all making mistakes all the time. But the forgiveness work allows us to clear them out, integrate the wisdom, and keep going. But if we're being hard on ourselves, often we're being hard on ourselves so that we don't do it again. If I blame myself, if I put myself down, I'll remember and I won't do that again. But then you loop it.
yeah.
But if we just, I forgive myself, I love myself. Oh, okay, next time I'll do it this way. Prayer moment, gratitude, and then we keep moving forward.
Yeah. And that
Yeah.
gratitude is another crucial component to our happiness and our alignment. Is just like, gratitude is a very high vibrational state, emotional state. And it's interesting because there's they've measured the emotional states, the frequencies of gratitude, and they compared them when giving gratitude and receiving gratitude. And I think that I can't remember which one was higher, but it was interesting that they're very similar. So even if you're not receiving gratitude from someone, you're at some crappy job, no one's giving you gratitude, you can give gratitude, and that can actually increase your emotional state and your vibrational state, which is going to then, and we know this, that our vibrational state is what attracts similar vibrational states. So if you're always Eeyoring around the world, oh, poor me, I'm the victim all the time, that's all you're going to get, because the world does not give us what we want, or the the universe doesn't give us what we want. It gives us who we are. And who we are, if we're coming in this world and being like, I am confident and I'm a joyous person, that's what it's going to give us. If we're coming to the world and being like, I'm the victim, everything always goes wrong with me, it just attracts more of that,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And it'll keep attracting it until we shift it. So that's why we have loops. It's like the universe saying, hey, you need to really look at this. And so we attract similar kinds of people, similar kinds of situations until we realize, oh, I got the lesson. Now I'm shifting into a new timeline and that's no longer in that timeline.
Mhm.
Yeah. Gratitude is where it's at. Yeah. If
Gratitude.
there's one thing that we can practice, if we take anything from this, gratitude.
Yeah.
Just how can I be grateful for it all? And then the more we practice that gratitude, the more we see it as well. It's like it is a practice. And sometimes when you're in a real funk, it's hard to find. But even just documenting in your journal, writing the things you're grateful for. I have a roof over my head. I had like lunch today.
Yeah.
Just really getting familiar. And then, wow, life.
I feel like, are you
Yeah.
always in that? Oh my God. I feel like you're the person. Surround yourself with people like Jennifer because they're going to raise your vibration
Well,
for sure.
Going through a chronic illness will put you in the deepest states of gratitude.
Yeah.
Because when you have everything taken away from you, the smallest thing is like, for 3 months, I couldn't sleep laying down. I could only sleep sitting up because every time I would lay down, I would start throwing up.
Oh,
So
God.
it was like being on a plane and, in and out for 3 months. The moment I had my first sleep, just flat on my back, I was like, oh, God, this feels so good. And that's one of the gifts that you go through when you come out of like real severe trauma, real severe pain. The flip side is you have so much capacity to see the gratitude. Yeah.
You know, our perspective of the experience becomes our experience.
Yeah.
You know, reading Peter Sage's book and, he gets put in jail and he's like, I'm so grateful. I get to practice all my tools and see if it shows up. Or like with Nick the other day on stage, this guy turned out, he became a bodybuilder and he's got no legs, one arm, one finger. And it's like his perspective in life is just, it's inspiring to be around people who you could be like, I got put in jail. This sucks.
Yeah.
Someone died. This sucks. And yes, it sucks, but we are not the victim.
Yeah.
And how we see it of like, hey, I have a chronic illness here. Wow, man, I'm so grateful. I get some time to myself. I don't have to rush and I get to grateful to spend time with my family and see my father and bring it back. And, so whatever you guys are going through, shift your perspective on the experience. And then that becomes your experience.
Yeah.
You get to choose.
Yeah.
We get to choose. I am the only one that can choose my experience. And I think this is a really hard lesson
Yeah.
because we all start in that victim consciousness, that victim mentality. How do we shift that?
Yeah, and it's a spiritual practice because when we practice that, we start to realize that everything that is happening in our life is happening for us. And so there is a benevolence guiding it. Sometimes it appears like a challenge, but it is a gift for your evolution so that more blessings can come in, so that you can step into your purpose, so that you can create the things that actually your soul wants. And so that new dialogue is like, hallelujah, everything is for me.
I love that for sure. It's a reminder that if you're going through a hard time, it's okay.
Yeah.
Be grateful for it and know you're going to use that as your strength. You're going to use that to go inspire someone else that's going through it right now. And you'd be like, you know what? I went through it. Yeah, it's tough and you can get through it. This is what I learned. This is how I healed myself. This is how I got through the trauma, whatever it is. Like, how do we create that life that is of joy and is of like positivity? It doesn't mean we don't feel sometimes down, but it's like find the perspective that makes it awesome to be living this life, to be grateful for everything that's happened to you.
And that's why tapping's so great because it doesn't bypass what the pain is. it allows you to accept that and move into the gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been amazing, Jennifer.
Nice
This has
joke.
been our connection with gratitude, with recognizing where you are and loving it, our connection with tapping. And if you resonate with one of us, reach out. We we answer all of our messages personally. If you're interested in learning more about tapping, Jennifer has some free videos on her YouTube. You can find her at jenniferpartridge.com, the website, or Instagram is Jennifer_Partridge.
Man,
I gotta, you know,
good
you
memory.
think I know what
Yeah.
I'm doing here. I like to
Done
pretend.
this a few times.
And I don't even have a screen for anyone that's watching. But reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. And if you have something you're going through and you feel like we have tools to help you, reach out. This is why we're doing this. This is why we speak. This is why we have podcasts like The Connection, is to share the way too much money we spend on personal development and figured out what's working and not working. And, and this is working for you and the people you're working with. So thank you for sharing that with me. And thank you for giving me that gift of going through it, because I have stepped into a new one. It's like, I want more. Let's do it.
Yeah. Freedom and expansion.
Freedom and expansion.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm Joe Che. Thank you, Jennifer, for being with us.
Thanks for having
See you
me.
next time. Ciao, ciao. Mwah.